What you told us about money matters.
Communities told us about their top 5 priorities within the theme of money matters. Having good quality jobs that pay fairly, with enough money from benefits, what it takes to have a good life with access to the essentials, being climate change ready, and having services that are stigma and trauma informed, with lived experience feeding into the design of services.
What you told us about good quality jobs that pay fairly.
The cost of childcare and the ability to access provision are affecting your ability to work, and if you do work, you are often living in in-work poverty due to not being paid fairly or being unable to cover your costs. This can be a deterrent to work, particularly for care-experienced young people looking to become independent. You raised that transport connections to the workplace and access to skills development to increase work opportunities is an issue. You shared that everyone is affected, but particularly those living in areas of higher deprivation and invisible communities. You highlighted that access to training and apprenticeship in green jobs, further learning, adult learning in community settings, jobs from new strategic sites in East Lothian, volunteering, digital skills development, and workforce planning could help.
The East Lothian Partnership vision for good quality jobs that pay fairly.
We believe everyone deserves to be treated fairly in work and to be able to access training and support to develop their skills and job prospects. The work skills required for the future are changing, and we need to equally prioritise both new industries and traditional trades with access to learning in our communities.
What you told us about the need to have enough money from benefits.
The cost of childcare and the cost of living crisis means you do not have enough money from your benefits. You recognise that income maximisation in healthcare and community settings and investment in local advice and advocacy services could help.
The East Lothian Partnership vision for everyone to have enough money from benefits.
Joining up services will ensure partners can provide advice and referrals for households and support them to make the benefit system easier to understand. We will prioritise support for communities where we know costs are higher, for example parents and people with a disability. Language is important in how we communicate. We will work to be consistent, accurate, and stigma and trauma informed.
What you told us about a good life with access to the essentials.
The essentials are getting more expensive, such as food, baby costs, transport, and fuel costs. You highlighted that housing costs are a particular challenge in accessing affordable housing and that there is often a waiting list for housing for care-experienced and kinship carers. Whilst you recognise that it affects the entire population, it has particularly affected those on low incomes, families, care-experienced, single households, and older people.
The East Lothian Partnership vision for a good life with access to the essentials.
We think that making the housing, benefits, and finance systems clearer will make it easier for people to get access to the support that they need. We will make sure that young people, especially care-experienced young people, understand and know how to access housing and benefits support.
What you told us about being climate change ready.
That climate change was having a direct impact on your food costs, connection to travel, adverse weather such as heavy rain and flooding, and that there is a loss of agricultural land to housing. You said whilst all communities are affected, those in high deprivation areas are at greatest risk. You highlighted that insulating homes, an increase in community growing and allotments, protecting agricultural land, using community benefits more wisely, improving active travel and sustainable travel could help.
The East Lothian Partnership vision for being climate change ready.
We know that tackling climate change benefits efforts to tackle poverty, and so we will keep these two big issues linked. We will make sure that our response to climate change is done through the lens of reducing poverty.
What you have told us about understanding the impact of stigma, trauma, and hearing the voice of lived experience.
That you do not feel your voice is being respected or listened to, and that dads particularly feel that they do not experience equal treatment. You highlighted that those living on low incomes with additional needs or health diagnosis or experience of trauma need to influence how we respond and support communities. You said people are not aware of the way they can influence change or using their voter rights, and that workplace and service providers need to be better equipped and informed to respond in a trauma-informed approach.
The East Lothian Partnership vision for understanding the impact of stigma, trauma, and hearing the voice of lived experience.
The way we run our services can make them harder to access. We will use your experiences to shape better services and train staff across the partnership.
The plan will be agreed by December 2025 and start in January 2026 until December 2036. We report back once a year and will be looking at the plan again every 3 years.